back to Hey Brother, a podcast dedicated to all things Freemasonry right here in the jurisdiction of Kansas. This is an independent production, so the thoughts and opinions expressed here are those of our own and do not represent those of any lodge, Grand Lodge, or associated group or body. Now here are your hosts, brothers Darren Kellerman and Alex Powers.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. Good to see you again.
You as well. How's your week been going? It's been a whole week.
Yes, August is, summer in Kansas is here. August 12th, 2026, we record this, and it is here. Holy mackerel.
It's been a warm one for sure. You know, I was kind of wishing I had old Kellerman in his half tuxedo and top hat mowing my lawn today. I about passed out there.
Yes. I know we got stuff to get into, but I did see that you cooled off at your home lodge last week.
I did. Yeah. Well, you know, but they had a little surprise hot seat, though. We did have some visitors, oddly enough.
Oh, what a great time to pop back into your home lodge.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good surprise visit. I just got settled into a chair, and John Kunkel come busting in the door and said, "There's 5 cowboys mounted up and headed your way, master." And he said, "Well, they got 2 minutes." It was a good meeting, though. It was good to be back. Good to see everybody.
The Grand Master made a surprise visit at the Gardner Lodge last Thursday, and Brother Alex was sitting on the sidelines, had no clue it was coming. Oh, so much for insight from the show.
Absolutely, right? I mean, as much as he's been traveling around, I had a educated guess that it could happen, but yeah, I wasn't entirely expecting it either.
Oh, yeah. And I know he's got several more planned for this week. He was at, I think, Hebron Lodge a night or two ago. Maybe it was last night doing emblems and such. So he and his crew are just a traveling bunch. I mean, Grandmasters always do that, but he is on it. There we are right there.
It was a pretty good turnout.
At least you wore a suit, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I was thinking about the tuxedo T-shirt, but you know, I figured.
Looks like
up a notch.
Really good attendance, actually. I mean, that's really good for August. For August. I mean, that's just amazing. As
Absolutely.
we've talked about before, more and more lodges meeting and having special events and stuff in July and August. So that is just wonderful. So.
Well, you know, when we were talking, we had all those guys in there, and it was a pretty good attendance. It was nice to see everybody in there again. And one of the things when I was digging through the history of that lodge to write the book is I found all these instances back in the day where they would hold community events there, local Gardner and Johnson County bazaars, as they would call them. And they'd have booths, and like they reported 150 to 200 people in there. And I'm just, every time I see a group of like, I don't know what, roughly 20, 30 people, I'm just like, 150 to 200 people in this lodge?
Yeah,
that'd be tight. That'd be tight.
Imagine how warm that would be.
Oh my gosh, I could not imagine. And they didn't even have air.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've got somebody special knocking at the door this evening.
We do. Talk about some guy who has a lodge who has a great attendance every meeting they have. He is a charter member of Kansas's second Affinity Lodge, Tuscan Lodge 460. I think that's right. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. Maybe it's our third lodge. I don't know, but it's always a pleasure to have on the only guy who gets away with speaking after the Grand Master of Kansas, Tony Borum.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
How's everybody this evening?
Doing very good. It's good to see you, brother.
Same here. Always good.
Okay, so I think the two of us are in the loop. For those watching that heard the reference, you got to explain. You're the only one that can get away with talking after the Grand Master. What's going on there?
I still don't get away with it, but I do get chided for it. It was years ago. I believe Darren was in attendance. It was an area meeting that I put together in Lewisburg at Peace Lodge. They had it across the street at the Fox Hall, I think they called it. and I believe Mike Halloran was Grandmaster, and it was a great event. He showed up with a lot of his officers. We had a head table, and I'm sitting off to the side, and everybody's talking, and we're going over a lot of cool things that's happening in Kansas Masonry. Grandmaster got done talking, and I'm sitting there thinking, boy, there's a couple more things I forgot to say.
So, there always is.
So he's all done, and I stood up and started talking, and he gave me this look like, what the heck? So every time I was around him in a meeting or anything after that, before he would start talking, he would say, Tony, is there anything you want to say first?
That's good stuff. I like that.
I believe Dave has actually pulled that one on me a couple times too.
It's one of those things that sometimes something happens and it just sticks with the brother, and that is yours.
It's all fun. It is. We do try to give the Grandmaster the last word, and that's important that we do that. What's interesting is my plan was in 2020 to auction off in fact, we did do that. We auctioned off in 2019 a thing at the KMF banquet that anybody could speak after the Grandmaster. And one of our brothers bought that at the auction, and he got a certificate and everything. I've talked to him a couple times, but he just enjoyed donating to the foundation, and that worked out real well too. But this roast that Dave is going to do will be similar to that, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
That's fantastic.
Before we move too far on, Tony and Alex, I don't recall as time moves forward whether it was that meeting in Lewisburg or the one a year or two later. But I remember I rode with you, Tony, and on the way home, you had the discussion. You had, I don't know if it was in that meeting or not, had come up with the idea for forming a Tuscan Lodge.
It was.
I remember talking about it on the way home.
It was actually right after the meeting. We were in the parking lot and getting in our cars, and we started talking about it.
And for people that don't know, explain what Tuscan Lodge is.
Tuscan Lodge was an idea that, Darren, you came up with it also. We, my feeling is right after I read Andrew Hammer's book about observing the craft, I was interested in starting an affinity lodge that was kind of observing the craft, or that type of a lodge. And then I got to talking, and we decided, and we got to talking to each other, Darren and I, that there's a lot of lodges where brothers aren't getting their Masonic experience. We have a home lodge, and whether or not we connect with it or not, but that they don't supply what we all look for in a Masonic experience, especially the leaders in Kansas Masonry. And we have a lot of leaders in this jurisdiction, a lot of them. And I came up with the idea, I think, that our district and area deputies are the ones that buy in. Those are the guys that have gone through their chairs, gone through the East in their lodge, maybe once or more than once. And those are the guys that we kind of let just go by the wayside, and we lose that experience and leadership. And I thought, man, it'd be really cool to have a lodge that was just composed of area and district deputies, current and present, or current and past. And so we worked out the details and actually presented that at the following AC, at Mike Halloran's AC, and got a charter. We had everybody we asked to be a charter member was all in on it, and we had a really good group to start with, and many of those guys are still in the lodge, but it has turned into be one of the premier lodges in Kansas, I believe.
It has, son. You guys just passed your 10-year anniversary this past year, and again, there's still a lot of guys in there, and I know the Grand Lodge has really embraced Tuscan Lodge's stance on leadership, and have often used you guys, especially the last couple of years, at the guild, at the Leadership Guild, to put on sessions of that, just because the guys have experience just packed in there. So,
as well
those guys who
the orientation, we do presentations at the orientation, because really that's where our district and area deputies are getting their information. each year. And so we have tried to be as much of a leadership type of a lodge that we can. And so we have we've morphed into, as well as we all wear tuxedos and we all know our ritual, and we just love masonry, the whole group, and we travel. We really do travel. But that leadership side, where we actually give Masonic Ed, we talk to whoever we can to help them advance through Kansas Masonry. If they want to be a district deputy, or if they want to really help their lodge and be a good master of their lodge, those are the goals of our lodge. It's the mission of our lodge, is to be a leadership lodge.
Love
And
that.
I know you say you guys travel, and unlike most lodges which have a permanent home lodge setting, Tuscan is I'm going to say, statewide traveling lodge. Is that right, Tony?
Yes, it is. Sunday, we, believe it or not, we traveled to St. Bernard Lodge out in Dodge City. We have been to, every one of our meetings is at a lodge that we all kind of come together and decide, this would be a really, really cool lodge to visit. We contact the lodge itself. We offer an honorarium, and they'll usually have someone open the lodge for us, and we come and we have a meeting, and usually, our meetings last 2 to 3 to 3.5 hours, and nobody even notices the time, because there's so much going on. And we do Masonic Ed, and we just enjoy each other's company. We actually have discussions about what's going on in our lives. We actually connect really well. And the planning that it takes for our committees, and since we are offering leadership courses and leadership presentations at other lodges, it takes a little bit of planning to get that done. So when we were out in fact, I'll let you know, we were out at St. Bernard Lodge, and we actually elected and balloted for our deputy Grand Master to join. So we have Dave. Of course, everybody knows Dave Hendricks is a longtime member. He's a secretary of our lodge, and now we have Mark Reeder, who is going to be active in our lodge. And we got some really cool things going in the books for when he becomes Grand Master, or he's already been elected as Grand Master. But when he takes the reins next March, we've got some really cool things that we're going to do for him and for Masonry to help advance leadership.
That's great. That's great. Well, Tony, we've got to press on forward. We're going to have you back on, because there's a lot we want to hear from you. And
appreciate that.
We're so glad to have you on here. We know that Freemasonry is a big part of your life, and we just see you everywhere. If you're going to a Masonic event, there's Tony Borum right there. If anybody has any questions for Tony, Borum at kansasmason.org. If you want to become a member or just interested more in Tuscan Law, just reach out to Tony. Be happy to talk about that or about anything Masonry or life in general. I just called him up a lot of times and say, hey, I got an issue. What do you think about this? And he kind of gets me squared back.
I'm reluctant to give my opinion so often.
Yes, you are. So, brother, thank you so much. We will have you back again on the show soon.
I really appreciate it. I support you guys, everything you're doing. Alex, Darren, you guys are stars in our fraternity. You really are. And I have so much respect for both of you, and I hope everything goes great for you.
I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot coming from you.
And
I will.
I love you both.
I love you too, brother.
Love you too, brother.
I will say, as everyone calls our brother over here, Big Deal Kellerman, I've adopted the nickname Big Whoop Powers.
Yes. Yes.
Which I know Kellerman's kids love seeing pop up on the song.
They do. They do.
All right. Well, thanks so much, brother. We'll have you back on soon, and we'll see you around Kansas Masonry.
Always available. You will see me around, because Masonry is a big part of my life, and I love to attend, and I love to visit with my brothers. Before I leave, I'd like to say one thing. My wife,
absolutely.
My wife knows that I like to attend Masonic events, and I try to get there early, and a lot of times I'm seeing the same guys there, right? Because there's a small group of guys that just always do the same thing. And I always tell her I need to get there early, and she goes, "How come?" And I said, "Well, I got to visit with my brothers." And she goes, "Yeah, it's brother, Mason, Mason." And that's okay, because we have to catch up, right? So yeah, I'll be traveling. You'll be seeing me. And if anybody has any doubts about whether or not I'll stop and have a conversation with them, you just go ahead and grab me by the hand, and we'll stop and we'll take time and we'll visit.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much, brother. We love you.
Thank you. So long.
What a good guy.
He is. And what I failed to mention, because he doesn't like to hear about it so much, but Tony was the very first recipient of the Grand Master's Order of Merit.
Ooh.
That came out in I think it was awarded in 2013. He was an up-and-coming district or area deputy. He was just a fireballer, and then we had 3 recipients for the Distinguished Service Medal, and Tony was a unanimous vote by the council that year and the Grand Master, and the very first recipient really set a standard it's really hard to live up to, and he's still maintaining that fireball attitude and go-gettership. I mean, it's just amazing.
Absolutely.
I will say, with all the kind words, I would caution him to watch his drinking before he comes on the show.
That's funny, man. I saw it pop up earlier. I'm going to throw it back up on here. Getting high praise from all around. We have our brother Dwayne Marshall over at Past Master's Thoughts saying, one solid brother right there. And apparently he's going to see him tomorrow night.
He really is. And Tony was at the very first Masonic Con. I think he's been at them all. He said he wasn't going to make it this year, but he popped in on Saturday as well and was a sponsor for Masonic Con. So, I mean, he is just everywhere.
Oh yeah, he's a solid guy. Well, you've got your nickname. I've dubbed my nickname. Maybe Tony should be Last Word Borum.
The last word
going.
Yes. He says it only occurred one time. I can recall several occurrences when that happened. But that's the beauty of it, because he's kind of like, for those in Southeast Kansas, remember Carl Otto, he kind of had that ability too.
Yeah.
To say what he needed to say whenever he needed to say it. So,
well, I know I saw a lot going on again, which is fantastic in Kansas Masonry this past week. We've got 8 minutes left here in our run. Yeah. So let's burn through a few. Let me see. Looking over here, we had Grandmaster and the Deputy Grandmaster joined the Arab Shrine for a golf tournament up in Topeka this last week. Looks like I posted there 4 days ago on the Grand Lodge page. Lake Shawnee Golf Course out there showing Kansas Masonry to the public. Cool to see.
Not cool to see Grandmaster's legs. Just saying. Long pants, Grandmaster. Just saying.
I mean, you've got to win at all costs, right?
You do.
If you blind the competition.
And blind them, and there you go.
It's good stuff here. Let's see. We've got, looks like a great evening was had out at, I kill these lodge names.
That's
Hebron Lodge 314.
Yeah.
And Gridley last night. Looks like, quite a good turnout there. My gosh.
It is one of Kansas's, quote, smaller lodges. I believe that's the home of our Grand Senior Warden, Warren Hughes.
Fantastic. And let's see here. Oh, we had a cool post from the Kansas Lodge of Research this past week. We'll get through this redirect notice here. Little post maybe near and dear to something you might be familiar with, but obviously our past Grand Lodge building in Topeka set directly across the street from the state capitol. And there was a cornerstone snafu, I should say, that you worked into your year as Grandmaster in an event that we did over there. Tell us a little bit about what was going on there.
Well, we were going to rededicate the cornerstone of the State House. There's an anniversary event, but more importantly, we're trying to kind of correct the past. But we learned, or we thought we had learned, that the original cornerstone had been lost. to the State House. We knew it had been redone twice early on because they used crappy brownstone, limestone, and it just crumbled originally. But then in the 50s or whatnot, we sure thought it had disappeared. We could see where a plaque had been placed on the wall, kind of the northeast corner, but the caretaker of the State House said that was not the actual dedicated cornerstone. So we thought that was the end of it.
Yeah, I was looking into it a little bit, and it looks like they didn't necessarily put one back per se, or put in another vault, if you will. It looks like they took the items out. It was listed in there that they found a bunch of papers. Well, it says, yeah, craziness. They opened it up and it was released a swarm of cockroaches that burst out. There was a bunch of papers that were crumbled to dust, a handful of corroded coins among a $5 gold piece dated from 1817. And I think it said somewhere in there was like a silver coin as well. It said those were taken into the Capitol and I believe are displayed to some degree, but they put back a plaque and then that got lost once again by landscaping over the years, and now even that's gone. So who knows?
Yeah, so there's a picture of a Prince Hall Grandmaster Larry Coleman examining what he believes is the cornerstone that had the plaque on it. He could see the hole, well, what appear to be the filled in holes. And that's, if I find it, I'll post that picture on the Hey Brother site.
Absolutely.
Facebook page. But Grandmaster Coleman was very pleased to have found that, and working that year in 15-16, we thought they were going to place a symbolic cornerstone on the courthouse lawn, but then
that'd be cool.
Things happened, and at the bureaucracy level, and that didn't happen. Apparently, all the cockroaches went back inside, and it is what it was.
Yeah, that always makes for a great event. You've got the news out there and everything. Open it up and just cockroaches swarm out.
Could you imagine?
Set the scene, right?
Oh yeah. Some people would say it very appropriate for State House, but anyway, moving on.
I think we mentioned this was coming up last week, but they held this last week here. Lawrence Acacia Lodge number 9 had a first responders event that looks like it went over very well. Food trucks and all kinds of stuff going on there. Great way to show getting involved in the community, brothers.
Yep. Brother Santino Williams up there at Acacia Lodge, and those guys did a great job. They have some local lodges helping sponsor that. Just first time, I'm going to say it's the first annual. I predict they'll probably do that again in the future, but what a great idea to recognize those first responders.
Absolutely. We've seen a few of those going on throughout the state. I think they're fantastic. I mean, what a better way to really get tied in with the community and show support. But they've been going over great. I'd love to see them continue. I'd love to see more of them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. More posts from McPherson Lodge 172 out in McPherson, Kansas. They're keeping up with the Masonic education, which is fantastic to see. And I think they had one other as well.
On their Masonic education, just a little tidbit there for guys who don't know it. Michael Golden is the chief of police in McPherson.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Man, so we had Most Worshipful McClarty that was chief of police out there. So we've got, I'd be curious to see if there's more Masons in history that served in that role.
I don't know, but there are quite a few brothers in the McPherson Police Department. I don't know about McPherson County Sheriff's Office. Boy, I'm pronouncing that wrong, aren't I? It's McPherson. I'm sorry, because there's no fear in McPherson. My bad. Somebody's gonna scold me.
You got to get an angry message. We both are.
I am. But yeah, it's really neat. Rob McClarty was the police chief, and then as he moved on, Brother Michael Golden stepped right in there, and just shows that, like days of old, these guys who are Masons are active members of their community.
Absolutely. And I failed to mention the topic there. It looks like he talked on From Me to We, building teams to create successful leaders within the organization. Fantastic. Looks like another post from McPherson came out. McPherson, sorry. See, we're gonna get those angry messages. Come on. Had 12 in attendance this past week. Looks like they did a fellowcraft degree. Fantastic. And I know that's near and dear to you, man, to get those degrees going within the lodges.
It is, and I see right there that big tall guy is Mark Slabowski, and he does the senior deacon part for that fellowcraft degree, and it's wonderful. I oftentimes I always say slow down, because he just rolls right through it because he knows it so well. But it's such a beautiful, I don't want to say lecture because they'll chew me out for saying spare lecture or something like that, but the senior deacon part in the second section. And Brother Slabowski does a wonderful job of that. I presume he did that.
Well, that's always one thing that stands out to me is when a brother knows it so well that they flow through it in a manner. I mean, when I went through my second degree, I, honest to God, thought the degree stopped. And he was just having a conversation with me. I mean, he comes up, puts his arm on my shoulder, and just talks to me and me alone. And I really thought he was just saying, "Hey, I'm just going to explain this part to you." And it was so near and dear. And to figure out that was scripted.
I'm getting goosebumps, Alex. I'm getting goosebumps because that was exactly what I thought when the guy gave it to me. Man, it's just so. He was talking right to me as he gave it. And,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And then let's see here. Sad to report on. We had a few lodges. Looks like the Area 3 page, McPherson, Douglas 151, Sunflower 86, all reported on the passing of a dear brother. Let me pull this up here.
Yep. District lecture.
Ron Roger Bowens passed away. Didn't see what day here.
It was August 3rd, I think, is when it was. I was thinking
August 3rd. You are correct. And that's so sad to see. I mean, this is one of the guys we would see at every major event. You'd always catch him at Grand Lodge. Such a kind brother. Always great to have a conversation with.
100%. And just even these past couple of years, he's had some great bylaw proposals that got going through there. I mean, they're all great brothers. And then it's like, man, that was just so sudden. And a few that I talked to said, just bam, really quick. So our heartfelt condolences go out to the family, friends, lodge members of the Bowens.
Absolutely. Beyond that, we do have 2 events on the Grand Lodge schedule that are up to get registered for. One of them coming up first is the annual Kansas Freemasons Leadership Guild. And I know if you get registered, I believe it's, it says in here, before later this month.
Yeah, get registered. There's 3
register
books.
By the 19th, you'll get a free limited edition Leadership Guild polo. And then, of course, everyone in attendance is going to get not 1, not 2, but 3 books to go along with their experience.
So 2 of those written by Kansas Masons.
Absolutely. One of those commenting here tonight, dear watcher, from the Past Masters Thoughts. And then, of course, Brother Hightower with an amazing book here about being the master of the lodge. And I heard from a bird that he's got a part 2 coming out very soon.
And that rhymes, so it must be true.
It must be. And then, of course, I don't think I pulled this one up, but we do have, let me actually just jump over here. Well, that's another one. We've got the ritualistic competitions starting in October. And then we had, there we go, Grandmaster's Roast coming up in October. And that is live for registration as well. That's, we've never had one of those before, have we? I don't think I've ever heard of one.
It's been talked about several times, but Brother Hendricks, and I think young Hendricks also has helped push that. So, and there's people lining up to do the roasting. I did see on their new flyer that came out this week that they have added, like, I think 3 more spots. It's down the bottom of that flyer, I think, on the left-hand side. There's 2 or 3 spots been made available. You have to buy them if you want to roast the Grand Master. So,
as my wife said, that could go amazingly great or very bad.
So, recommendation, just get your name tag that says Tony Borum on it and get up and go.
That's
the best way.
There you go. You know, that would, for that brother that won that pass at the
Yes.
raffle, that'd be a great time to use the
It
pass
would be.
after the Grandmaster.
It would be. It would be.
I mean, heck, you wouldn't even have to register at that point. You wouldn't have to do the $250 spot. Just like, hey, get out of jail free card, most worshipful.
Walk in, speak, and then walk out quickly.
Absolutely. Let's see. So we're a little past time here, but jumping into the calendar for Grand Lodge events, looks like coming up Saturday, they've got the ADGM and DDGM refresh event, 8 to 5 out in McPherson.
So if you're not going to that and you're in the Topeka area, Justice Lodge is having a meeting at Orient Topeka 51. Starts at 10:30. We're going to have Earl Ginter doing Masonic education. But so if you got something going on, we're going to eat the Blind Tiger. The lodge is paying. So
Blind Tiger, there we go. And let's see here. We've got on the trestle board study clubs, of course. If you guys are not getting involved with study clubs, this is a fantastic opportunity. Get on the trestle board calendar, figure out when those study clubs are, when the degree work's going on. And for the study club, as we always mention, if the one at your lodge doesn't fit, this is the great resource to find one within driving distance to you. They meet at different nights, different times. Go find it. It's a great way to meet and, you know, converse with other brothers as well while you're learning.
And I know we're about done here, Alex, but because nobody ever talks about it and things just happen behind the curtain like magic, the trestle board calendar, a Tony Borum thing. He's the one that came up with that and shoved it out there to us. He's actually the guy. He's still I don't know, what is it, 15 years later, we've had that. He's the guy that gets notifications when somebody wants to sign up for that. Trestle at kansasmason.org. That goes to him for vetting and approval. That was his baby. It's been a great thing. I mean, and here we are talking about it on the show every week.
Absolutely.
That was a good thing. And
what else will we talk about on this show?
Exactly. Go figure. Coming from Tony.
That's good stuff. Well, I think that's about all I got.
That's all I got.
Anything else on your plate? That's it.
No.
All right.
So, so it's August the 12th. We know the Grand Master is traveling on August the 13th. So if you got lodge on the 13th, be ready for that, because he's coming somewhere in Kansas.
And I will say, from the other night at Gardner, that boom, boom, boom was a loud boom, boom, boom. You knew somebody important was out there.
And so was the Grand Master. So
absolutely. Well, with that, brothers, thanks so much for joining in. Make sure you like and subscribe, share, so we can keep growing. We're a small show, but we're trying to get out to the masses of Kansas and beyond. So we appreciate everyone joining in. And until then, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, brothers.